Everybody can take a seat. We're going to get started right now. Sorry about the room mix-up for all of you who are very, very comfortable in the other room, but we're looking forward to getting started. Thank you.
Are we going to have, you want everybody?
There's seats in the front row all over, by the way.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. I am Karl Colton. I'm the Director of Nuclear Policy at the Energy Communities Alliance. I am so excited to look out at this room. I think there may be restraining orders against me from some of you because I called you so many times to participate. So hopefully I won't be taken off the stage in cuffs. But if I do, I expect ECA to bail me out. And we know a few mayors, so that would be helpful. I want to say the room is filled with such a diverse crowd, from developers to policymakers at the state, the local level, tribal representation. We have 3 leaders of the Office of Nuclear Energy, the current Assistant Secretary of the Office of Nuclear Energy. Dr. Goff is here. We're going to hear from him shortly. Ed McGinnis is here. Monica Regal-Buto is here. It's really just, it's thrilling, and I'm so excited to be part of this. This is our 3rd ECA forum. We held our first one a couple of years ago in Salt Lake City. Then we had a fantastic meeting last year in Paducah, and now we're thrilled to be in all 4 of the Tri-Cities. And this is all under the ECA New Nuclear Initiative, which we created about 3 or 4 years ago, right, perfectly timed with COVID, limiting us to only virtual meetings, and so it's more than exciting to be at 3 now. That initiative is led by Mayor Casper of Idaho Falls, and it essentially is 3 big questions that we're asking ourselves as communities that are either already hosting nuclear missions or looking to host new nuclear missions. What do communities need to know to attract and support new nuclear development? What and how should communities communicate with industry, national laboratories, and the federal government about their local resources and their development opportunities? And what hurdles and challenges would communities face, and who should we be working with to overcome those challenges? So I think a major goal for the next 2 days is meet people. Meet people, break out of your silo, and start having really holistic conversations, the kinds of questions and answers you should talk to each other about to really support these projects moving forward. It's going to take a village, as they say, and there's no real timeline for when to push on what. We all just need to push and push in a concerted effort. So just a couple of things very quickly on the housekeeping front. One is we have a packed agenda, so we're going to keep everything going, and if you need to go to the bathroom, there's the bathrooms on Friday. Also, that was a good one. If you have signed up to go on the tour on Friday, you have to have been pre-registered at this stage, but we ask you to please sign up for the bus at the front where you're registering. We need to have that list over to PNNL, so we would like to get that to them by lunch. So if you haven't signed up for a bus, please sign up for a bus and make sure that you get to sit with the people that you want to speak with while we're going from point A to point B. And I just also want to remind you that as communities, we're not just looking to support your projects, we're looking to see them be successful, and we're looking to be partners in that kind of project development. And please consider us as people who want to be partners in your project to bring it to success. So the last thing I'm going to say before I kick it over to our esteemed hosts here is how many state and local folks are here in the room? If you would raise your hand. So I just want to say to developers and people working on the projects, we're here come talk to us, come find out what you need to know, and let us tell you what we know about what our communities can offer to you. And if you're a new community and you don't have a nuclear project, please talk to ECA members. They're very honest brokers about what it's like to have these kinds of projects, what it means economically for your community and for your region and for your state. So with that, I will kick it over to Mayor Gerry, who is ECA's Executive Chair.
Thank you, Kara. Much appreciated. And I think she not only wrote my script, but she touched base about everything that I was going to talk about this morning, so I guess I'm done. So. No, with that, Kara also mentioned Quad Cities, and I want to correct an error that was made yesterday. Commissioner Delvin, are you here, Commissioner Delvin? Raise your hand. Apparently, Commissioner Delvin, a good friend of mine, a respected colleague, apparently did not do well in the history class at school at Cole High because you have 4 cities, it's considered quad cities, not tri-cities. So I just wanted to correct you there, Commissioner. I busted him last night because he threw me under the bus yesterday afternoon, and so, even playing field, right? Thank you, Commissioner. Quad cities. Richland, actually, history lesson. Richland was incorporated in 1958. West Richland was incorporated in 1955. So it's West Richland, Pasco, Kennewick. I love you. John, sorry, you're the quad. All good, all good. So with that, on behalf of the local elected officials and ECA board members, we're excited to see everyone here this morning to discuss new nuclear energy opportunities in our communities. As Kara mentioned, my name is Brent Gerry. I'm the mayor and CEO of the City of West Richland, as well as the chair for Energy Communities Alliance. Communities across the country are considering nuclear projects for many reasons, from diversifying regional economics, creating clean energy jobs and meeting carbon reduction goals, to increase energy security and rebuilding the U.S. supply chain. Some communities have familiarity with nuclear energy projects, while others are just beginning to evaluate the potential interest. We created this forum to bring communities, small modular reactors, and advanced nuclear project developers, federal and state governments, Department of Energy, national labs, and others together to enable shared learning and to build the partnerships necessary to address opportunities for new nuclear development. And as Kara said today, it's all about success. As together and partners, we can be successful. Experience shows that working with local municipalities and involving them in decision-making processes helps build public confidence and encourages the understanding of the life cycle of nuclear power, from uranium mining to manufacturing and radioactivity waste disposal. Only when local communities are included in these processes can they be your partners to work towards your project's successes. For some time now, engaging with local governments has been the norm in siting development nuclear facilities. And both new and existing nuclear programs are adopting this practice. Consistent information, reliable communication about nuclear policy, investment decisions, facility site selection, and waste management has become necessary for the successful running of any complete nuclear program. This meeting takes the idea and brings everyone together to learn about and work together to try to move nuclear energy and manufacturing projects forward. My community is excited about this meeting because we currently host nuclear energy and other nuclear projects, and we're looking forward to hosting advanced nuclear and manufacturing projects. And before I turn the microphone over to Karl with TRIDEC, I wanted to welcome our partners, our global partnership partners that we have been able to form through the assistance of the host IAEA. We have GMF Europe and Canada Association of Nuclear Communities and their leaders, Gerben and Adrian. Gerben and Adrian, would you please stand up? These are our gentlemen. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. And then, of course, IAEA and Stefan is the individual has given us the stage to put together this global partnership. We're currently having conversations with Korea and Japan and many other countries. So as we join together worldwide, we can be stronger nationwide, worldwide, in our own communities. So Stefan, please. Stefan with IAEA. We certainly enjoy your hospitality in Vienna. It's a long flight, and but the food is good. The food is good. It's affordable, yes, and you have a great facility there. So thank you for your hospitality, Stefan. And I couldn't go without mentioning, as Kara did, thanks to Mayor Casper of Idaho Falls. Mayor Casper, you're the leader, along with Kara, in this new nuclear forums that you're putting on, and without your vision of what this can be with new nuclear, as we all know, we've got to have plan B, C, or D, right? So thank you so much for everything you do, Mayor Casper, and appreciate you as the Vice Chair of ECA as well. So with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to Karl Dye, and everybody enjoy themselves in the next couple of days. And as Kara said, get together. This is an interactive conversation. You have questions, there's microphones. These are some of the best forums that I've been to, because it's not just people up here that are speaking to you, you're speaking to us and everybody that makes a difference. So be interactive. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Karl Dye. I'm the President and CEO of TRIDEC, or Tri-City Development Council, and on behalf of our whole community, I wanted to welcome everyone to the Tri-Cities. Thank you, ECA, for hosting. Thank you, Mayor Casper, for evidently driving this mission forward very much. We appreciate our partnerships with Idaho Falls as somewhat of a sister city, especially in nuclear, and looking forward to building stronger bonds for all of our ECA community members as we work together to, in our case, and she's not here today, but the chairperson of our board, Sandra Haynes, is the chancellor of WSU Tri-Cities. She came up with this phrase about 2 years ago now. A few of us were sitting in the room with David Turk from Department of Energy, and she pitched this phrase, which we feel really sums up our vision for the Tri-Cities, and that's clean up to clean energy. So we all know the history of our community, starting in the Manhattan Project and growing from them with the Atomic Energy Commission and DOE presence in all of our communities as the basis for ECA. But this transition that we all have into clean energy, new nuclear-based advanced reactors, and all the things that we learned about yesterday in Nuclear 101 is the opportunity not just for the Tri-Cities, but for all of our communities. And I just wanted to quickly share an example of what we've learned and what we see in economic development that we feel are opportunities for all of our cities, because as a country and as a nation, we're all on the cutting edge of decarbonization, which nuclear now, really, that's our opportunity. The history of the Tri-Cities, everybody knows it really well. If you don't, on Friday you'll learn a lot more about it when we go on the tour, and we're looking forward to that. But our organization started in 1963 as the Tri-Cities Nuclear Industrial Council. So our economic development agency, which is now TRIDEC, started as the Nuclear Industrial Council. We were all about nuclear. And it was really three guys that were local business people that said, we have a relationship with our congressional delegation. Let's leverage that to make sure that we are the place for nuclear development in the country, and let's lead the rest of the country. The three guys, one guy owned a bar, and the other two guys own the newspaper. And from there, they grew as an organization and have led to many, many projects here in the Tri-Cities that are nuclear related, including Columbia Generating Station with Energy Northwest, the precursor to that, the N reactor that was a plutonium production reactor. But in 1963, when we launched, President Kennedy was here a month before he was shot in Dallas to launch the N reactor, which is actually an electricity generating station that was connected to a plutonium reactor. Many, many, many first of a kind in the Tri-Cities. And now as we build on that legacy into the next generation, a number of years ago, David Replag and I, who you all know from ECA, our Vice President of Federal Programs, and I had a chance to meet with one of our pioneers. He was our first board chair as TRIDEC, which we had our new name in '85. His name's Bob Ferguson. He was raised in a small town in North Idaho, Dover, Idaho. Went to Gonzaga Prep and then on to Gonzaga, and was really a nuclear pioneer. He was involved in the forerunner of Energy Northwest. He was our first chair, as I said. We spent about 4 hours with Bob Ferguson, and I learned more about nuclear than I have since or maybe ever. But I asked him, I said, why did the forerunner Energy Northwest try to build multiple first-generation reactors at the same time in different locations? And he said there was a power forecast nationally that came out of World War II. It was just a 45-degree angle that went straight up forever. And what we found was we didn't need the power back then. Power changed. Natural gas was developed both as an electrical generating but also a home heating source. So things changed, things moderated, the energy spectrum changed. But today we have that same chance at new nuclear because we need that power. We need it that it's decarbonized, but we also need it for electrification of industries as we continue to decarbonize. And so at TRIDEC, we've actually launched a new initiative called Energy Forward Alliance. Our executive director, Sean O'Brien, is here today. He'll be on a panel to talk about some of the initiatives that we want to do. Some of our board members came together and formed Energy Forward Alliance as a way to include new nuclear as well as other decarbonization technologies for the Tri-Cities to make sure that we were on that front edge. We want to continue to be first of a kind. And when I talk about our accomplishments as a city, obviously we're very, very proud, but we're here today to share it with our partners. And so, as Kara said really well, as the mayor said really well, we want to share what we've learned or what we can learn together with all of our partners. And so that's why we're excited to be here in the Tri-Cities together. That's our opportunity working together to work with the federal government, work with our state governments and our local governments across the board to be able to pull off new nuclear, because now is literally the time and the place is all of our communities. So on behalf of the Tri-Cities, thank you ECA, thank you everybody for being here. Have a great week, and we look forward to partnering with all of our communities throughout the country. Thank you. Quad Cities, sorry. Next up, we are going to have some videos. Kira, do you want to lead us through this, or yeah, and introduce the videos? And maybe I could introduce Rick. Oops, I'm sorry.
Do you want to do the left?
Hi, Congressman Dan Newhouse here.
Guess not. Oh, guess not. Okay. Here we go. There we go.
Thank you for having me, and while I hate that I can't be there in person, I'm excited to join and share a few thoughts on such an important issue for our area. Central Washington has a rich history in developing nuclear energy, and as a longtime advocate of an all-of-the-above approach to American energy independence, I'm excited for the role nuclear will play in the future of our state and of our nation. It's no secret that we are at a crossroads with many of our adversaries, especially the Chinese Communist Party. It is critical that we decrease our reliance on the CCP for materials needed in nuclear development and invest in our domestic production and refining. In a time where energy security is national security, we can't afford this risky reliance. As a member of the Appropriations Subcommittee on Energy and Water, the Congressional Fusion Energy Caucus, and the Advanced Nuclear Energy Caucus, I've supported efforts in Congress like the American Isotope Security Act, the Protect American Energy from China Act, and even expressed as the sense of Congress that nuclear power be a necessary clean baseload energy source to ensure a secure energy future. The Pacific Northwest is home to an impressive variety of energy sources, and nuclear, led by the work being done in Central Washington, will have a core role in the innovation and future development of our domestic sector. I very much appreciate all the work that you do in advancing our nation's energy interests, and I will continue to be a partner in pushing common sense solutions to the challenges facing the industry today. Again, thank you for having me, and I hope you have a very successful conference.
everyone, this is Kathy McMorris-Rogers. Welcome to the Tri-Cities. I want to start by thanking you for everything you do to build nuclear energy partnerships in Eastern Washington and around the United States. Nuclear energy is essential for our national security and a cleaner, more secure energy future. It's exciting to see how the promise of innovative nuclear technologies like those being built in Washington State can help support the energy demands of a growing economy, for industry, for manufacturing, and for the American people. This Congress has been encouraging to see a renewed bipartisan focus on restoring American technological leadership in nuclear energy. The Energy and Commerce Committee has a rich history of leading on these issues. Our work this Congress has been no exception. We've advanced solutions to lay the foundation for a more robust and innovative nuclear industry with strong bipartisan legislation. This includes legislation that will support the production of the innovative advanced fuels needed for new types of nuclear reactors currently under development. Our work has included a measure to ensure Russia will not be able to undermine our supply chain and to bolster our domestic fuel manufacturing. That bill, H.R. 1042, the Prohibiting Russian Uranium Imports Act, passed the House by unanimous vote, passed the Senate unanimously last week, and should soon be signed into law. Our agenda has also included the Atomic Energy Advancement Act, led by Chair Duncan and Ranking Member DeGette, which will provide the most significant reforms to nuclear regulation in decades. And with continued partnership with the Senate, those policies should also be headed to the President's desk soon. We're also working to improve the management of the nation's nuclear waste, something that's long overdue to address the needs of today's industry. Embracing American nuclear technology and innovation will have a positive impact on communities across the country and around the world. American leadership matters, and we're seeing the results right here in Tri-Cities, which is quickly becoming one of the best places in the world for this innovation to take place. I encourage all of you to engage with us as we continue these important efforts. We want to hear from you. My door is always open. Thank you again, and I look forward to working together as we take steps to secure America's dominance in nuclear energy for decades to come.
And while they're not here, Congressman Dan Newhouse and Congresswoman Kathy McMorris-Rogers, let's give them a round of applause again for their dedication and the efforts that we are making. With that, I'd like to introduce Rick Evans. He's the Central Washington Director for Senator Maria Cantwell, and he will read a letter from the Senator.
Well, good morning. So my name is Rick Evans. I'm the Central Washington Director, and unfortunately the Senator is not able to join us this morning. However, I do have the letter I'd like to read on her behalf to mark the occasion and welcome everyone to the area. Dear friends, welcome to the Tri-Cities for the Energy Communities Alliance Forum on Building Nuclear Partnerships and Projects. The Tri-Cities is a fitting host for this forum as it is home to the Columbia Generating Station, the only power-generating nuclear reactor in the region. Owned and operated by Energy Northwest, it produces emissions-free power while providing affordable energy for businesses and residents alike. With Pacific Northwest National Laboratory in the region, educational opportunities like WSU Tri-Cities Institute for Northwest Energy Futures, and a host of developing energy companies coming to the area or already calling it home, the Tri-Cities is becoming a shining example of what is possible in the future of clean energy development. With new technology on the horizon and beginning to be implemented, the next generation of nuclear technology has the potential to play a key role in the 21st century energy economy. In the Senate, I supported the Energy Act of 2020, which directed the Department of Energy to increase the speed of development and eventual demonstration of the nuclear technologies of the future. I also supported the Inflation Reduction Act, which provided tax incentives for advanced reactors and funding to support the continued development of the HALEU domestic supply chain. That fuel is needed for the future deployment of advanced reactors, and the domestic production of that fuel is an important piece of the new technology puzzle. Again, welcome to the Tri-Cities. With its highly educated and highly experienced workforce, it is leading efforts to promote the clean energy future we're all striving for in the state of Washington, and I'm eager to continue that promotion in the other Washington. Sincerely, Maria Cantwell. Thank you.
All right, with that, I will invite Mayor Rebecca Casper of Idaho Falls and Dr. Michael Groff to the stage.